billionaire thought his fortune could protect him until masked robbers stormed his mansion. Terrified, he froze, clutching his son, but the maid he barely noticed stepped forward with nothing but a ball and her forgotten skill. She turned fear into fury. What happened next shocked everyone. Before we dive in, let us know in the comments what time is it and where are you watching from. Let's start. Klara Petrova never forgot the sting of her coach's words. "You throw like a maniac, girl." But dreams don't feed families. She had been 16 then, standing on the dusty baseball field outside her small town. Her right arm was her pride. She could throw harder and straighter than most boys. She'd spend hours perfecting her aim, hitting tin cans lined on a fence, pretending the world was watching. Scouts noticed once, murmuring she had potential. But potential didn't pay rent. Not when her mother coughed through nights and her father drank away the last of their savings. By 19, Klara was working double shift at a diner, her mitten ball stuffed deep in a drawer she never opened. One night, wiping down tables, she whispered to herself, "It's gone, isn't it? That part of me the customers never cared about her. They barked orders, snapped fingers, left coins instead of tips." One old man had once told her, "Pretty girl like you should find a rich husband, not waste time serving eggs." She had smiled then, but inside she boiled. She wanted to scream, "I could have been somebody, I could have made a team," but she needed the paycheck more than pride. Life pressed harder. When her mother passed, Klara was 23 and the funeral cost more than she had. She begged relatives for loans, stood in lines at banks, always hearing the same cold tone. No collateral, no chance her father didn't come to the burial alone. She kept moving. She cleaned houses, ironed clothes for rich families who barely looked her way. Once when she accidentally hit a vase with a folded sheet, the lady of the house sneered, "Clumsy and useless. How do you people even survive?" Klara had bowed her head, swallowing words she wanted to hurl back. She remembered walking home that evening, gloves still smelling of bleach, staring at a group of boys playing catch in the street. One ball rolled near her feet. She picked it up, fingers curling around the leather like an old friend. Instinct kicked in. She flicked her wrist, launched it toward them. The ball cut through the air, smacked perfectly into one boy's mitt. They gaped. "Whoa, lady's got an arm." She smiled faintly, then walked on, head down. That night, lying in her small rented room, she whispered, "What's the point of being able to throw when nobody cares?" 2 weeks ago, her luck twisted. An agency called offering a maid's position at the Hale mansion. Billionaire Richard Hale needed new staff. Turnover was high because his standards were impossible. Klara almost didn't go, but her rent was late and the landlord had threatened eviction. She arrived in her cheapest dress, trembling. The recruiter eyed her with doubt. "Any experience?" "Yes, years, cleaning, cooking, whatever's needed." "References?" Klara hesitated. "Most of the families I worked for moved away." It was a lie. Some had fired her cry. She didn't want to relive those words. The recruiter sighed. "Mr. Hale is demanding. You last a week, you're lucky. You last a month, you're a miracle." When Richard Hale himself walked in during her interview, she froze, tall, sharp in his black suit. He glanced at her like he was flipping through papers. "You Maid?" His tone was clipped, dismissive. "Yes, sir," Klara managed. "Don't steal. Don't talk unless spoken to. Don't mess with my son, that's all." "Yes, sir." For a second, Evan Hale peeked in. 7 years old, blue polo, beige shorts, clutching a toy car. His wide eyes met Klara's. She smiled gently, but he darted away. Richard's voice cut the air. "Start Monday. If you last 2 weeks, I'll be surprised." Klara walked out with the contract clutched in her hand, heart pounding. On the bus ride home, she stared out the window. People laughed, chased each other in the park. A boy threw a ball to his friend, and Klara's throat tightened. She could almost feel the weight of a ball in her hand again, the snap of release, the sweet crack of precision. She shook her head, muttering under her breath that life is gone. Now it's scrubbing floors, not chasing dreams. Yet deep down, she couldn't kill the muscle memory. Every night after finishing chores, she caught herself tossing a crumpled rag into the laundry basket from across the room. Always perfect aim, always landing. She told herself it was just habit, just reflex, nothing more. But fate had other plans. And in just 2 weeks, her buried skill, the one the world mocked and ignored, would become the one thing standing between life and death. 2 weeks into the job, Klara had settled into routine. Dusting chandeliers, scrubbing marble floors, polishing silver until her wrists itched. Richard Hale hardly acknowledged her. To him, she was another uniform in the background, but his son Evan had warmed slightly. He'd peek from behind doors, watching her hum softly while folding clothes. Once he even tossed his toy ball toward her. She caught it one-handed without looking. He giggled. "How'd you do that?" She only smiled. Old habit. That old habit was about to save them all. It was a Tuesday afternoon when the silence shattered. The heavy front door slammed open, footsteps pounding against marble. Klara, carrying laundry down the hallway, froze. 2 men in black hoodies, ski masks pulled tight, stormed in with guns raised. Richard Hale had just returned from a meeting, still in his black suit. He turned, stunned. His briefcase hit the floor with a dull thud. "What the hell? Hands up." One robber barked, shoving the barrel forward. His voice was coarse, angry. "Where's the safe, Hale?" Richard lifted his arms slowly, trying to shield Evan, who clung desperately to his leg. "Please take whatever you want, just don't hurt my boy." The second robber sneered. "Oh, the mighty billionaire begging." Cute Clara stood frozen in the doorway, clutching a bundle of laundry, her heart hammering against her ribs. She wasn't supposed to be here. Maids were invisible, but the sight of Evan's terrified face snapped something inside her. One robber noticed her and laughed. "What's the maid? Drop the basket, sweetheart. Go stand in the corner. This ain't your fight." Clara's hands trembled, but she obeyed, setting the clothes down. She stepped back slowly, eyes scanning. On the floor near Evan's toys lay a hard rubber ball, the same one he tossed at her days ago. The robbers pressed closer. "Safe now." Richard's voice cracked. "It's upstairs, just don't." The first robber shoved him hard. Richard stumbled back against the wall, nearly knocking Evan over. The boy yelped, tears streaming. Clara's breath caught, her eyes locked on the ball. Her fingers twitched inside the yellow cleaning gloves. Memories flooded. The crack of the bat, the roar of a crowd she never got, the sneers of people who said she'd never make it. The robber raised his gun toward Richard. Last chance. Clara didn't think. She moved. With one swift motion, she scooped up the ball. Her body remembered what her mind had tried to bury. She snapped her wrist, arm cutting through the air like lightning. The ball whistled across the room, crack, slamming square into the robber's temple. He howled, gun clattering to the floor. "What the?" The second robber spun, pointing his weapon toward her. Richard shouted, "Clara, no," but she was already moving. Another ball lay by the toy basket. She dove, grabbed it, and hurled it with pinpoint precision. It struck the second robber's wrist. His aim shattered. The gun went off. Bang! The shot ripping into the ceiling instead of Richard's chest. Evan screamed. Richard lunged forward, kicking the gun away. Clara grabbed a fallen lamp, swinging it at the dazed robber's head. He crashed to the floor. The first robber staggered, but Richard tackled him, pinning him down with raw desperation. The room erupted in chaos. Grunts, shouts, the scrape of shoes on marble. Clara's arms itched, but she kept moving, grabbing whatever she could throw. Vosses, books, anything. Each throw hit its mark. Years of buried skill unleashed in furious precision. Then sirens. Anshan's silent alarm had triggered. Within minutes, security guards swarmed in, tackling the intruders, yanking masks off their sweating faces. Clara collapsed against the wall, chest heaving. Her gloves were torn, hair clinging to her damp forehead. Richard stood, trembling, clutching Evan close. For the first time, his eyes met Clara's not as a maid, but as the reason he and his son were alive. "You," his voice cracked. "You saved us." Clara swallowed hard, unsure if she should even speak. "I just did what I had to." Richard stepped closer, still holding Evan. The boy wriggled free and ran to Clara, hugging her waist tightly. "Don't leave, Clara, please." Her throat tightened. She rested a hand on his small head. "I won't." Richard's face softened, guilt flickering. He remembered his cold words at the interview. "Don't talk unless spoken to. Don't mess with my son." Now that very woman had risked her life for both of them. He straightened, his voice steady but heavy with something new. "Respect, thanks. From this day you're not just staff, you're our savior. I won't forget this." Clara blinked back, tears, nodding. For years the world mocked her gift, told her it was useless. Tonight that same gift had saved lives. As the police dragged the robbers away, Clara stood taller. The weight of her past, the diner shifts, the cruel remarks, the crushed dream, suddenly felt lighter. Her arms still tingled from the throws. Maybe she hadn't lost everything after all. She glanced at Richard and Evan, both watching her with gratitude written across their faces. For once she didn't feel invisible. She felt seen. And for Clara Petrova, that was worth more than any trophy she never won. If this story gripped you, don't just scroll away. Show your support, like this video. Drop your thoughts in the comments and hit subscribe so you never miss the next twist. Where are you watching from? Share below. We love hearing from you.